I used to believe that relationships fell apart with noise, arguments, accusations, maybe a dramatic exit. What I learned is that they usually unravel in silence, in the space between questions asked and answers avoided. My name is Ethan, and this story began with a voicemail that wasn't meant for me. I was driving home when my phone connected to the car speakers automatically. A woman's voice filled the car, calm but intimate. "Don't forget what you promised me. I'm done waiting." The message ended. No name, no explanation, just the sound of my own breathing getting louder. The voicemail was from Laura, my girlfriend of 4 years. Laura and I lived together in a narrow townhouse with squeaky stairs and windows that never quite closed properly. She liked order, lists, schedules, plans made well in advance. I liked things loose and flexible. We used to joke that we balanced each other out. That night, when I asked her about the message, she didn't hesitate. "It's a coworker," she said. "She's going through a rough breakup." She looked at me while she said it. I wanted to believe her, so I did. The next day at work, I mentioned it to Daniel, my closest friend since college. Daniel had a talent for listening without interrupting, then saying exactly what you didn't want to hear. "If it's nothing," he said, "it'll stay nothing. If it's something, it won't." That wasn't comforting, but it was honest. A few weeks later, Megan joined our office as a consultant. She was sharp, confident, and unafraid of silence. We worked late one evening, revising a presentation that no one would remember in a month. Somewhere between the third cup of coffee and the hum of the lights, she asked why I seemed distracted all the time. I told her about the voicemail. I told her more than I meant to. Megan listened carefully, then said, "People hide things when they're scared. Sometimes they're scared of losing control. Sometimes they're scared of telling the truth too late." That sentence stayed with me. Laura started coming home later. Her phone was always face down. She smiled the same way, kissed me the same way, but it felt practiced, like muscle memory rather than desire. Meanwhile, Megan and I began talking outside of work. At first, it was harmless. Books, movies, work frustrations. Then it wasn't so harmless. I told myself it was just conversation. I told myself I wasn't crossing any lines. The first real shock came at a charity fundraiser Daniel dragged me to. Laura said she couldn't attend. Megan was there. Halfway through the evening, Megan went still when she saw someone across the room. "That's Laura," I said. Megan swallowed. "Yeah, I know." It turned out Laura was her half-sister. They shared a father, not a history. Years of resentment, a bitter disagreement over family money, and a silence that had lasted longer than either would admit. Laura had never mentioned a sister. Megan hadn't known Laura and I were together. When I confronted Laura, she didn't deny it. "I didn't think it mattered anymore," she said. "I didn't expect our lives to cross like this. They already had. So had ours." The second realization came from Daniel. Over drinks one night, he admitted something I hadn't seen coming. "I've known about Laura seeing someone else," he said quietly. "Not emotionally, financially. She's been helping him, a lot. It wasn't an affair. It was worse in a way. It was a secret life. Promises made without me, plans that didn't include me." The voicemail wasn't romantic. It was frustrated. Someone tired of being kept in the shadows. The final break came from a letter. I found it in a drawer while packing Laura's things after she moved out. It was addressed to me, written months earlier, never sent. In it she confessed everything. Her sister, the money, the fear that I'd see her differently if I knew the whole truth. She wrote, "I thought waiting would make it easier. I didn't realize waiting was also a decision." Megan and I tried, briefly, to see if something real could grow from the wreckage. It couldn't. Too much history, too much overlap, too many reminders of what we'd each lost. Now, months later, the house is quieter, cleaner, emptier. What I've learned is this: intrigue doesn't come from secrets alone. It comes from avoidance, from choosing comfort over clarity, silence over honesty. Love doesn't disappear all at once. It erodes when people stop trusting each other with the truth. Moral: when you delay honesty to protect a relationship, you don't save it. You slowly teach it how to fall apart.